One bad trade could rip a trusted weapon away from Drake Maye. One injury could expose the heart of the offensive line. One overlooked roster battle could flip field position. And 3 missed kicks could turn August into a pressure cooker. Patriots Nation, listen closely. There is no room today for excuses or cheap panic. 4 decisions are demanding courage, judgment, and a winning standard in Foxborough. Subscribe and stay with us for the Patriots' next move. Because if Mike Vrabel wants to build a truly dangerous team, useful talent cannot leave for nothing. Depth cannot become improvisation, and costly mistakes need an immediate response. We start with the conversation that should make fans angry. Kayshon Boutte keeps coming up in trade rumors, while his chemistry with Drake Maye should be treated like an offensive asset. Over 2 seasons, Boutte has quietly become a reliable target for the young quarterback. That does not make him untouchable. It means New England cannot act like proven production is replaced by flipping a switch. His rookie contract is entering its final year, and the lack of an extension explains the calls. The Patriots should listen. That is the job. Listening does not require selling, especially when no reported offer has pushed these talks forward. My demand is simple. If somebody wants a functional piece of this offense, they must pay like it. A late pick and a vague promise do not buy chemistry with Maye. Useful production has a price, and New England has no excuse to pretend otherwise when those calls come in. Even Boutte's new locker, farther from the quarterback space, has fed suspicion. A locker does not set a roster. During a summer loaded with trade talk, though, people notice it. Fans are not wrong for paying attention. Foxborough reads small movements because important decisions often begin before the announcement. The detail only carries weight because it sits beside everything being said about his future. Still, reaching a verdict from a locker room floor plan would run well ahead of the facts. The evidence with real weight is on the field. Maye values the partnership, Boutte delivers reliability, and the receiver room finally offers variety. After years of demanding weapons around the quarterback, treating depth like a problem would be absurd. A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs change the hierarchy. Demario Douglas, Mac Hollins, and the rest expand the combinations. Boutte brings continuity. Over a long season, that continuity has real value. It matters more than pretending everyone will remain available for 17 games. If a 4th-round pick reaches the table, the discussion gets serious. Anything lower should make the Patriots slam the door. They cannot build around Maye and weaken him in the same move because they got comfortable with the depth chart. A January roster must survive slumps, double coverage, and injuries without losing its offensive plan. That is depth's quiet value. One absence does not hand the opponent every advantage, and the weekly plan stays intact. Want to negotiate? Force the market to respect the cost. Otherwise, play Boutte, lean into the existing connection, and make defenses cover a room that is finally deep. The aggressive move is not always a trade. Sometimes it is keeping the player and demanding an offer that hurts. Keeping talent only works if the structure in front of Maye stays upright. Ben Brown left the Colts game injured. Andrew Rupcich went down later. Days earlier, Caden Wallace had been sent to Miami. Interior depth suddenly became an alarm. That is where Kevin Zeitler enters the picture. Zeitler offers the kind of answer an ambitious roster should examine: experience, proven execution, and the ability to step in without making every snap an experiment. At 36, he is not a developmental prospect. He is veteran insurance for a problem that could hit now. His age does not erase his 2025 work for Tennessee. 909 offensive snaps, a 74.5 overall Pro Football Focus grade, ranking 13th among 81 qualified guards, and a 75.4 pass blocking grade, ranking 9th. But Patriots Nation, this is where things get really interesting. Zeitler knows Mike Vrabel, worked with him in Tennessee, and built a career as a durable interior blocker. Cincinnati selected him in the 1st round in 2012. He later played for the Browns, Giants, Ravens, Lions, and Titans, earning his first Pro Bowl selection after 2023 in Baltimore. A resume does not win games, but it lowers the risk of asking an unprepared reserve to protect the pocket when pressure shoots through the gaps. Some will call signing a veteran over preseason injuries an overreaction. I call waiting for a crisis the same old passivity. If Brown and Rupcich return quickly, Zeitler still raises the competition and gives Vrabel a dependable alternative. If either injury requires more time, the need becomes immediate. He has value either way. I am not asking for a reckless contract or a job handed out by name. I am demanding a quick evaluation. Call him, check his condition, learn the price, decide before another team does. Maye does not need another speech about protection. He needs linemen who can block when the plan breaks. New England traded Wallace and changed its depth. Now it must answer for that space. If Zeitler can sustain his 2025 level, leaving him available while interior questions pile up is an unnecessary gamble. There is another side to this roster fight. Sometimes the answer is already inside the building. Kyle Williams entered year 2 surrounded by bigger names, bigger contracts, and receivers who fit with Maye. Instead of disappearing, he landed on the first unofficial depth chart as Demario Douglas's backup, and more importantly, the top kick returner ahead of Efton Chisholm III. That changes his path. Williams does not need an immediate place among the 5 most used receivers to justify his roster spot. He needs a function the others cannot match. I.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, and Mac Hollins win with size, strength, and secure hands. Boutte relies more on routes, depth, and trust. Williams brings something different, speed that stretches the field. His rookie year brought pressure. Williams finished 2025 with 10 catches for 209 yards and 3 touchdowns. For a third-round pick joining a group short on talent, that is not enough. But the evaluation cannot end before his second-year response. Out of Washington State, he ran the 40 in 4.40 seconds at the Combine, posted a 36.5-inch vertical, and reached 9 feet 11 inches in the broad jump. The explosion is there. Can he turn it into daily trust? Under the new kickoff rules, that burst can find a lane without Williams beating press coverage or running a full route tree. He fields it, sees the crease, and forces the coverage unit to chase. A return near midfield is an assist for Maye. The possession begins with the whole playbook available, not with the quarterback escaping the shadow of his own end zone. There is another benefit. If Williams earns the return job, he buys time to develop as a vertical receiver. His speed can pull safeties away, punish a coverage mistake, and create space for Brown, Doubs, and the tight ends. Comparing him to Randy Moss would put an unfair expectation on a player still fighting for a role. Recognizing that New England has missed this kind of deep speed is recognizing the fit. The Patriots' war room is open to the fan base. Put your plan below. How would you use Williams without slowing his development? The depth chart gave him an opening, not a guarantee. Now he has to seize the return job, protect the football, and force the staff to keep his speed active on Sundays. From the speed that could deliver field position, we move to the specialist who left points on the field. Andy Borregales missed 3 field goals against the Colts. 2 came from beyond 55 yards. Difficult attempts that do not deserve hysteria. He was also working with Nico Lalos as the new long snapper in place of Julian Ashby. The context matters. But context cannot make a 49-yard kick at the end of the 4th quarter. That attempt could have won the game. Borregales missed it, and a Patriots kicker has to feel the specific weight of that moment. Not because one preseason game defines his career, but because this position lives on repetition under pressure. The stadium can be empty. The result can be meaningless in the standings. The starters can be resting. When one kick decides the outcome, the mechanics have to survive the noise. I do not want a witch hunt after one bad night. I want a response. The coaching staff needs to separate what came from the operation with a new snapper, what came from the distance, and what belonged to Borregales' contact. Then they need to tighten the competition and demand visible correction. 3 misses cannot be shoved into a drawer marked August, especially when one of them delivered the exact test a kicker will be paid to pass in November and December. There is a huge difference between defending a player and protecting him from accountability. As a relentless defender of the Patriots, I stand with the standard. If Borregales is the man for the job, then answer in the next practice, on the next long attempt, and on the next pressure kick. Turn that 49-yard miss into an adjustment, not a ghost. If the uncertainty continues, New England will have an obligation to bring in competition. Close games in the AFC leave no room for sentimentality. The tie will not count in the regular season standings, but it left behind a very real bill. The offense, defense, and special teams can battle for 60 minutes and watch everything come down to 1 foot. That is why the response to this night must be aggressive and technical at the same time. Stabilize the operation, repeat the process under pressure, and create consequences if the standard does not rise. Borregales can still rebuild that confidence. Now he has to earn it in front of everyone. 4 stories, 1 demand. New England must protect what works and attack anything threatening this project. Boutte should not leave for pennies. Zeitler deserves a call while the interior line needs help. Williams has to turn speed into field position. Borregales must answer for the kick that got away. This is not August panic. It is preparation for a team trying to survive the AFC. Subscribe to Patriots Club fans and pick your side. Patriots Nation, tell me what you think. Would you keep the talent already connected to Maye and demand internal corrections, or make immediate changes to eliminate every risk before the season?